Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Let's go up to the heavyweights and the biggest one of the year, baby. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. You know it's going down, December the 1st, and they handle their business. These guys are in training camp. They handling their business. They got good sparring. You can see it, you hear things from the training camp. Sparring partners are letting you know these boys are serious. They're taking each other serious. You can feel the respect, and it's mutual from both fighters. These fighters don't hate each other. They know that they're both supremely confident, and they're training for that. They know that they're both tall. They know that they're both awkward, and it's hard to get sparring partners to try to act like this fighter, the other fight. Because how you gonna find a fighter that's so awkward like these guys? So they're going through it. They're doing the best they can, and you're hearing things coming out of training camp. And Deontay Wilder was talking in his media workout. He was saying a few things, but one of his sparring partners said some interesting things. Malik Scott. Malik Scott, is a pretty good heavyweight himself, right? Don't have that much punch power, but he's a mover. And he's about 35, 36, and 3, with 13 KOs. I think he's even 38 and 3. But this guy is pretty good, Malik Scott. Got a couple people on his resume, Alex Lepai, Tony Thompson, those kind of guys. People from England probably know him because of the Derek Chisora fight when he was beating Derek Chisora, I don't know, round 6 or 7. Chisora hit him with something, and he went down, and then he got up in time, but he still got counted out. Remember that? And he was going to outpoint Chisora, no doubt about it, but he got the loss there. But look at yourself and see. I'd see he was up in time, definitely, in that fight. He lost to Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz. It took him 12 rounds, though, and he stunk up the place. Similar to Tyson Fury. Just like, okay, well, whatever. I'm not knocking Ortiz out, but then again, catch me if you can. What's up? So, and then Deontay Wilder knocked him out in round 1, right? On some controversial knockout. And, it looked like he laid down for Deontay Wilder. And if you don't like Deontay Wilder, that's exactly what you're going to say. Because Deontay didn't hit him with that right. Left probably got around the glove, and the right just pushed him down. I don't know, but didn't look like he, that's not enough to fall down and can't get back up. But the only thing I look at, watch his legs. You don't let your legs, curl up like that, all awkwardly, if you're okay. You would have fallen down in a way that you're not hurting yourself. He almost must torn his meniscus or something, some ligaments or something. You don't do that if you're okay. That's the only thing I was paying attention to that leads me to believe he was a little hurt in that fight. But anyway, Malik Scott is one of those heavyweights that a lot of people like in their training camp because he's a good mover, and he can give you some good sparring. Ask the heavyweights, people, the insiders, they'll tell you this. So he spoke out. He just said, listen, man, Deontay Wilder's power, is just what it is. His power is on par with guys like Lennox Lewis and Wladimir Klitschko. He even mentions George Foreman. It's that thudding power. The difference is, though, he says his right hand gets there quicker. Right? You have to really be careful because his right hand gets there quicker. And that's the thing that, everybody kind of knows. It's just some people who hardcore are like against Deontay Wilder who think that all those fighters that he fought, are taxi drivers, like all of them. And it's hard for me to believe that people can think that, because if you look at the whole heavyweight division, that's all of them. Ain't too many. So, when you're looking at that and you listen to Malik Scott. Now, Malik Scott is Deontay Wilder's boy. They're cool, right? So, maybe he's lying. Well, I don't know how you say that. I'm going to tell you what, a lot of people done got hit by this man, and things happen. People don't go on the ground with convulsions. People don't just fall. Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz ain't falling for nobody. We know that. The Hoppers didn't fall. You still standing up at the end. Them people like that. The only people knock the Hoppers out is a doped up Alexander Povetkin. That doesn't really count, though, does it? When you're doped. Now, does it? Right? So things like that. So another thing is Tyson Fury seems to think that Deontay Wilder's a one-hit wonder. Right? He got that power, but that's all he got. I don't think Tyson Fury believes that. I think anybody that watches Deontay Wilder more than 3 times and doesn't have anything against the man or fear him for your guy that you like, you wouldn't see that. I mean, one of my casual friends, matter of fact, a lady, watched Deontay Wilder 2 times. I told her, hey, they call him wild. She said, he is wild. But he said, but only when somebody's hurt. made me stand up. It's like, how the hell does somebody say that after watching 2 or 3 fights? They can say that. But people who, watch a lot of boxing, or at least if you're in comment sections or have your own channels or whatever, you can't see that? Yes, you can. What it's called is fear, right? We've seen Deontay Wilder. He has enough patience too, right? He don't just go out there wild before he's wild when you're hurt. That's when he gets wild, and because he's about to get you up out of there. That's that. So those are things he was talking about. Malik Scott, I thought was pertinent. Now Deontay Wilder's one of his trainers, co-promoters, JDS. He said something that I personally think is pertinent, and that hence, bam. This is what I know his camp is thinking. I know that the whole time, most of the time when I say something about Deontay Wilder and his thought process, it comes to fruition. It's the truth. And most of you guys who's in here who've been following for a little bit, you know it is. Most of the time if I say something what Deontay Wilder thinks, that's what it is. Right? And JD has said Wilder has nothing to prove. And I like that mindset. Because he doesn't. He has nothing to prove when you're talking about AJ, Anthony Joshua, and all those stuff. He has to still fight Anthony Joshua to prove it. That's not what he's thinking. That's over. And J.S. Diaz just said, hey, man, whatever with AJ. Just ask yourself 3 questions. And these are questions that most people will ask. He said, did AJ ask for $50 million to fight Deontay Wilder? Answer is yes. Did we offer him $50 million to fight? Answer is yes. And did he take the fight? Answer is no. Well, we don't go too much further than that. And that's from their perspective. Now I know all the people got AJ's perspective. Well, he has to go to England and he should fight in England and the deal wasn't real and all those kind of things. Well, Deontay should have came for $15 million or $12.5 million to England. But then they forget that he did do that. Then AJ ends up fighting Alexander Povetkin, right? The dope guy. That's another thing that Deontay Wilder did. Was willing to go to Russia. Was training in London, right? On his way to Russia to fight this guy. What happens? Povetkin gets doped. Deontay still wants to fight him, but it couldn't happen. So he got doped, right? Povetkin, not him. So, but AJ fights Povetkin instead of Wilder, right? And I paid attention to the fans. Because actions speak louder than anything. And I never saw any fans of AJ get outraged at that. And that was your opportunity to show me that I'm not following anybody unconditionally. Because if that was the other way around, there's no way I'm following Deontay Wilder without saying something. There's no way. Because it's a human being and I don't follow anybody unconditionally. And that's what you should do. At that point, when AJ was going to say, wait a minute, we're not getting the Deontay Wilder fight when we know that all that money is on the table and all you got to do is go to Vegas to get it. That's still planet Earth. You're not going to fight him and you're going to come and fight Alexander Povetkin knowing that the WBA ain't mandating Anthony Joshua to do anything, right? Fight the guy who was doped twice, the 2-time doper. One with Deontay Wilder, one with Bermain Stavern. And with Stavern, he was already over there at the weigh-in. And it happened. And then here's another statistic I like to remind people of. They were able to get Johan Duhaupas within 24 hours to replace the verb, which means you knew you was doped before. If they catch us, we got Duhaupas. We got to give him a call real quick because we got to get from France, right? Get him over there and knock him out in round 6, full of dope. That knockout doesn't count either, right? 2 different drugs. Meldonium, which he was taking for years, just like Maria Sharapova, for years. It was legal until 2016. Right, January, and then Osterine. So at the end of the day, a fan of Joshua would have said, we don't want that fight. Give us somebody else or just take that Deontay Wilder fight. But the fans, there was no outrage. Never nobody, hey, hold up, we don't want that. Come on, Joshua, fight him. Didn't hear that. You only heard, man, Deontay Wilder's money ain't right. Those people that's been doing this all this time, their money's not right. Oh, then they found out later he had some affiliation because Frank Warren said, hey, he saw the contract. Oh, good. Well, he was affiliated with Frank Warren. Then what that means that he couldn't fight. Really? So that is what happened with that situation. And so when you pay attention to the fans, it should have been an outrage there. Definite outrage. Like, no, we don't want it. And it didn't happen. You use that fear and you pointed it towards Deontay Wilder instead of your boy. And what you're doing is you're stunting his growth. You won't be, but I'll probably be too young, or you're probably too, like I like to say, honed in. And you're zoomed in instead of zoomed out to pay attention to the behavior patterns of what's in front of you. But that's what happened there. So all the people who think that Deontay Wilder wanted that fight, what do? We call them fanboys and Deontay Wilder lovers and all that stuff. It doesn't matter. You can replace Deontay Wilder with another name, right? Any name. You'll replace him with Ortiz or replace him with a British guy. If it was Joe Joyce or Dubois in the same scenario, and both of them were from the same country, you would still be on the side of the guy who offered the money. The guy who asked for the money, it's an outlandish amount of money, right? Thinking he wasn't going to get it. Then he gets it offered from somebody, from Dubois, right? And then he doesn't take it. Then we'll be saying Joshua doesn't want to fight Dubois. Doesn't matter what the name is on the other side. You look at the situation. And that's what happens. So looking at all this stuff, let's just go ahead and, sum it up. Wilder's power is on par with Lennox Lewis and your boy Wladimir Klitschko, and to a lesser extent, George Foreman. That's what Malik Scott says. His promoter, Jay Diaz, says he's pretty much in a good place. He has nothing to prove. And I'm guaranteeing you, that's what they believe, that's what's in their heart, and that's why you have this even kill coming from their camp. That could be dangerous going forward. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide, and I'm up out of here, y'all.